People often ask me about bulletproof contracts. Here's the canal here in Enfield now. It's lunchtime. I think it's the 27th of March 2025. People ask me about bulletproof contracts. Sometimes it's in the context of an employer looking for a bulletproof contract for his employees. Other times it's to do, for example, with property. Maybe letting a property, maybe leasing a property, maybe buying or selling a property. And there's no such thing, in my view, as a bulletproof contract. In other words, just like a football team losing by 10 points and somebody saying, well, you can't argue with that. You can. Of course you can argue with that. There could have been 3 catastrophic goals conceded. For example, like Mayo did a few years ago there, where they were in Croke Park and they were in their pump and they were practically scoring own goals. Such was the level of bad luck, I suppose you might say, or bad fortune or whatever. But you can argue about everything. You can argue about anything you like. And likewise with a contract. You can get a contract which you believe is bulletproof, but both parties will still have rights and obligations under the contract. And both parties will be able to argue all the like about the contract. Let me just put this down here now, straighten her up there. Just, we don't want her crooked now. We don't want that. But as I was saying, you can argue about anything, and likewise with a contract. If a contract goes wrong, the individuals can fight. Now, the contract may have been very much drafted in favour of one side or the other, but it's never bulletproof. It's never bulletproof because each side will have an argument, some sort of an argument, and even if one side has no argument whatsoever, they may well go to court and say that they entered into the contract under duress, or they may make the argument that it was an unconscionable bargain, or they were stitched up, or they didn't have legal advice, or the benefit of legal advice, or their solicitor sold them out, or whatever. Bottom line is, if 2 individuals fall out, have a row over something, and whether it's an employment situation, or whether it's a property situation, or whether it's litigation, or personal injury, or anything else, a contract will only do so much. It's the individuals who are going to either settle their differences or come to an agreement or go ahead and have the case ruled by a judge and ultimately accept or don't accept the outcome. But looking for a bulletproof contract is an aspiration that I come across frequently enough, but quite frankly it's naive, and it fails to understand what's actually involved in any legal contract, any legal scenario where both sides, even if the odds are stacked in favour of one side or the other, you will still have some argument to make. And as I say, it may well be that I should never have been forced or coerced or unduly influenced into entering into this contract because it's so one-sided. And if that's the case, a judge might say, okay, we'll set it aside, or we'll set aside large chunks of it. So that's what I mean. No such thing as a bulletproof contract. You're far better off having a bulletproof individual the other side if it's an employer-employee situation, if it's a property situation, buyer-seller or whatever. You're far better off with a good individual on the other side rather than what you believe is a bulletproof contract that's going to get you out of jail no matter what happens, because that won't happen. That won't happen because there's no such thing, in my view, as a bulletproof contract. Now, walking around the canal here at lunchtime, it's the 27th or thereabouts of March. It's actually my mother's birthday. Let me see now. It's my mother's birthday. And I'm going to a big birthday party at the weekend. And I must say, I'm looking forward to it. It's my mother's birthday party, and she's hale and hearty. And she's in good form. And the whole family will be there. Children will be there, grandchildren will be there, and great-grandchildren will be there. I have 2 great-grandsons now, and it'll be great to see 4 generations at the party, so looking forward to that. at the weekend. Anyway, hope you liked the video. I won't give away her age, but it's a big one, alright? I'll just say it's a big one. And if she's watching this, happy birthday, Ma. Hope you liked the video. Hit the thumbs up button down below. Thanks a lot.